Alrighty, yeah, it's Paul the Pipe Guy, live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York, in the United States of America. Thank the Lord. I got my new Pipes and Cigar shirt on. You can see the back. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see that far. I must be muscle bound. Yeah, man, fits nice, extra large. So, one of my subscribers, actually he's a brand new subscriber, Grat, Gratt, 26, said that he found the channel because he wanted to look at Mr. Bragg reviews, and he saw some, and I'll tell you, Grat 26, if you can get one of these, I'm trying to read the bowl number, bear with me, here I am unprepared again. This is a Mr. Bragg number 89 stand-up pipe. I'll say that again. A Mr. Bragg number 89 stand-up. I love the shape of this pipe. I've had this pipe for about 3 years now. The draw on it is phenomenal. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's a 9mm. All right, you can put a filter in there or not. It's just a great smoker, you know, nice little pocket pipe. It's only about 5 inches long. But look at the briar on that, man. And I've smoked this pipe. I've used it, you know. I love the shape. Mr. Bragg 89 stand-up. I don't know if you can find them. Sometimes they'll make a pipe and then discontinue it. So, of course, my daughter, she gets me the Pipes and Cigars shirt, along with Gaslight by GLPs. Tin date is 6/13 of 2023. 6/13 of 2023. So, of course, we have to smoke this. How could I not? My God, it just... we're going to load this beautiful bowl up. We're going to take a break and do that. We'll be back in a nanosecond. And then, for you newer pipe smokers, I'm going to take a couple of minutes with our Tuesday night smoke together before we start setting on. I think it's important that the channel's gotten enough new viewers. There might be some real new pipe smokers, and I'd like to show you how I pack my pipe. Everyone does it differently. This is how I do it, and this is how it works. We'll be right back, and we'll show you. Okay, so we're back. So let's say you have your tobacco prepared. And when I say prepared, I don't want to get into plug tobacco, crumble cake, crumble plug, loose leaf, flake, all those different. You have your tobacco ready to load in the pipe, okay? So what you do, you take your pipe, you take a pinch, and you put it in the bowl. And then you take another little pinch, you put it in the bowl. You're not shoving it down with your finger or anything like that. So now we have some tobacco in our pipe. What we're going to do is ever so gently, actually almost just the weight of the tamper, okay? So it's kind of like shaking a baby's hand, as somebody put it once. Okay, so now you got your base in there. We're going to add a little more tobacco to it, all right? All right, a little more tobacco. And it's important that whatever tobacco you're putting in here, it's prepared correctly. If it's loose leaf, it's easy to load. If you have crumble cake or plug, that's a whole... Now we've got our second batch in there. I'm up to about 3/4 of the way in this bowl. Now I'm tamping it a little harder, just a little bit. Test the draw. Draw's good. It's not a hard draw. And then we'll finish her off just a little bit. like so. And then we just gently tamp down the top. I'm getting a good amount of airflow through there because I didn't jam it in. As Brad the Piper says, it's better to have your pipe packed too loose than too tight, or something like that. If it's too tight, you're not getting a lot of airflow through there. Before you light it, you can always dump it back out onto your cutting board or whatever you're preparing your tobacco on and start again. So let me do this again. Okay, you fill the pipe up about maybe a quarter of the way. You just lightly tamp it. Put in a little more, tamp it just a little heavier. A little more, tamp it just a little heavier. Keep checking it between. Now, we have what's called a Char light. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I feel that the channel is attracting some newer pipe smokers, maybe, or maybe somebody else wants to try a different way. And this is the way I do it. It's not the right way. It's not the only way. It's not, this is the way you have to pack your pipe. No, you pack it however it smokes good for you. So then you do a Char light. A Char light basically gets the top of the tobacco going. Which we're going to do now. And you'll notice I'm going in a circular motion with my flame. I kind of tilt my pipe to the side a little bit. It's just easier for me to light than trying to suck that flame down. I tilt it. See that tobacco rise? Yeah. I got a great draw. Sometimes you don't even have to do a Char light. Sometimes you can just set it on fire. But we're doing a Char light, okay? So let's say you got it partially burning. Then you just lightly tamp it down. You don't scrape any ash or anything off of it. Just ever so lightly tamp it down. Do the same thing again. Tilt your pipe a little bit to the side. Circular motion with a flame. And there you go. She's lit. Now you just got to try not to talk so much like Paul the Pipe Guy does, where you have to keep relighting it. Oh, thank you, daughter. Gaslight by GLP's one of my favorite blends. What do I love about it? I think it's got Latakia in it. I just love this blend. It's just so... It doesn't say. I can't read it. I don't know. Can you read that small print? Look at that. I can't read it. I don't know. I'm not doing a tobacco review. Now that your pipe is lit, you stay in cadence with your pipe, meaning you sip on it. Kind of like sipping a 7-Up or something like that out through a straw. Now, if you're Dale Piper, look up Dale Piper. Sir Dale Piper. Actually, it's just under Dale Piper. He's from the UK. That guy can keep a pipe lit for freaking 40 days. He'll just sit there. Dale Piper here. You can hear the clocks going off in the background. I love that guy. So that is how I pack a pipe. Now, for you folks that are newer to pipe smoking, I want to talk about the different types of tobacco. You know, you have loose leaf tobacco. I don't have any handy right here. Loose leaf or ribbon cut. It's just like regular tobacco. It's cut in little ribbons, like looks like cigarette tobacco. Right, you just grab pinches out. And then you have, you know, what's called crumble cake, which is like this gaslight, which basically is, it's cut. You can see the full leaf, really. This is, I don't know if this is plugged, but it's stacked and stacked. There's probably 400 leaves there, and they're compressed down. So you slice that off. I got other videos on different tobaccos and how to prepare them. Then, you know, there's like crumble cake. Crumble cake is basically just ribbon cut tobacco. Looks like regular cigarette tobacco, except sometimes it's a little bit longer ribbons. And they put it under a great deal of pressure to marry the different juices and the different leaves. And then you just cut a chunk off the side, put it on your cutting board, and you just sit there for 5 or 10 minutes and just rub it between your fingers. Never rush that process. If you rush the process of what's called rubbing your tobacco out, let me explain what rubbing your tobacco out is, okay? So this particular blend that I have that my daughter bought me, it came in like a cube. And so I cut it in 1/8-inch sections, a few of them, and then I just sit here and I go like that and rub it between my fingers. Keep rubbing it between my, if I find a clump, just keep rubbing it, keep rubbing it, keep rubbing it. And sometimes you can sit there for 10 or 15 minutes and, you know, you just do that. If you don't have, basically what starts bad ends bad. So if you don't have this tobacco prepared where it's loose, totally rubbed out, if it's still all clumpy and stuck together and hard and there's chunks, you're not going to have a good smoke. Cheers, by the way. And the reason why you're not is it's not going to stay on fire. I've got a wonderfully packed bowl here, which is starting to warm up a little bit. I'm going to pause the video. We'll be back in a nanosecond. Alrighty, pipe smokers. So we're back with our pipes and cigars shirt on. Yeah, I love this shirt, man. It fits so good. I love it. How do I look at it? Huh? All right, so now that you've tamped that and, you know, you're smoking the pipe down, let's say if your pipe starts to warm up a little bit, where warm enough where if you touch it to your face, it feels too warm. You don't want it to get that hot. I mean, it can get that hot, but you want to stop at that point. Now, after you break your pipe in, meaning it gets carbon buildup, enough carbon buildup inside of it, or if you smoke it slow enough, it won't overheat. Now you got all this ash on top. What do? You just simply scrape it, tap it off in an ashtray. And then, yeah, you're left with something like that. It's got a little bit of ash on top, not too bad. You kind of stir it up just a little bit. Don't tamp down on it just yet. You can aerate it, meaning pushing it down almost to the bottom of the bowl or to the bottom of the bowl, whatever you're comfortable with. Kind of mix it up a little bit. I always like to do a little blowout, just a tiny bit. Don't blow too hard. You'll be blowing tobacco all over. Just give her the lightest tamp down, and then you relight it. There we go. Now I've taken the tin that you saw, I've stripped it down, and it's now in a ball mason jar. Tobacco storage is very, 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 very important. So I took the label, cut it just so, took some tape, kind of held my fingers around like that so it wraps around the jar nice. I always write dates down. You can see on here it says Paul Gilson, GLP's Gaslight. Tin date is 6/13 of 2023, and I opened it today. On 2/6 of 2024, and I put who it was from my daughter Bianca. So that is storage, okay? Tobacco storage, proper tobacco storage, is so important. I just spent about 3 months rehydrating almost 200 tins of tobacco because I thought, all right, man, I've got this tobacco here. Yeah, it's got a seal kind of like a mason jar. Maybe if I crank down on it, it'll be fine. It's still dried out. Then I thought, well, maybe if I put it in there and then put it in, a plastic bag and then put it all in there and crank it down. Well, guess what? That don't work. The only thing that's worked for me is the ball mason jar. The reason is the ball mason jar has a band on it. All right. And the band has a cap in it. And that is actually food quality. All right. And that has one hell of a seal in it, man. Now, you don't need to crank down as hard as you can. Just put it down firmly. And I've told the story a couple times before. A very good friend of mine, his grandfather passed away. He inherited his father's pipes, or his grandfather's pipes, and his grandfather's tobacco collection. And his grandfather was like me, dated everything. He said he had tobacco that was over 40 years old, pipe tobacco. That was in a ball mason jar. Now these are 12 ounces, okay? But he said that when he opened them up, that tobacco was as fresh as can be. You can store tobacco in here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's made to keep food for 3 or 4 years. It's going to keep tobacco indefinitely. Now, I get the 12-ounce jars, or for my bulk, I'll buy the wide mouth quart ones. But there is 1.76 ounces right there. So 50 grams, all right? You can fit 4 ounces, which is about 225 grams, if my math is correct, into one of these 12-ounce jars easily. And then just write the stuff down on it. you know. The last thing you want to do is have to go through what I went through and rehydrate it. Or have something like this, you know, a 2-ounce tin of plum pudding, bourbon barrel aged, which the price has gone through the roof on this stuff now. I don't know. Last time I can't remember what it is. It was expensive. All right. So, you know, you can relight your pipe if it goes out. Some people are old school. They like to take 2 matches and use matches to light their pipe. I personally don't like the taste of the sulfur. Some people will use a Zippo lighter, and they actually make Zippo lighters with a little hole in the side just to light your pipe. I personally don't like the taste of Zippo lighter fluid in my tobacco, and that's why I like Bic lighters. Yeah, made in the USA, Bic lighters. I just thought of a new calendar because both my calendars are expired. And those of you who have been subscribed to the channel for a while remember the naked girl one that somebody sent me that I had to cover up their private parts and so forth. I got a tremendous idea for a 2024 calendar. I'm not going to tell you. This is so good. Thank you, sweetheart. My beautiful daughter, 21 years old today. Yeah. Bianca Christina Gilson. Oh, yeah. She's going out to dinner tonight with her mom and some friends and her boyfriend that she's been with for about 5 years. Nice young man. They're going to have dinner and she's going to have one drink. You know, like a mimosa or whatever. Thank God she's not a drinker. You know, if anybody ever has any questions on, you know, what blends that I like, what blends that I think that a beginner may enjoy, tobacco blends, you know, anything, questions on buying estate pipes, rehabbing estate pipes, making them look beautiful after you bought them and they show up looking like what the hell. Yeah, you guys can always email me or just drop a question. I mean, there's nights that I come home and I'll spend a half hour just, you know, answering comments or commenting on comments that were made. I appreciate everyone. I don't want to miss a one. So if I've missed your comment, make another comment. I mean, I get a lot of them every day. So, and like I said, I spend a lot of time trying to make sure that I answer everybody, respond to everybody. I really appreciate all of you guys and girls. Anyways, going on for 24 minutes. Kelly's climbing up the front screen, my killer cat. Her name is Callie. C-A-L-I. Callie. C-A-L-I. Killer cat. Callie the killer calico cat. Yep. So anyways, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks for watching. Paul the Pipe Guy. Live from the outskirts of Rochester, New York in the United States of America. Over, but not out. Yeah. And you're going to love the new calendar I got. especially you older guys like me. You're going to love it. I'm going to order it right now.